Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Wherever you're tuning in from, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Season 5, Episode 2 here. And I kid you not, you look at this table and it has been formidable. We have had an amazing first section of our league season. And I've got two brilliant games for you guys to watch. We've got Levski, top of the table, potentially can claw back some of the lost points from previous games. And we've got the Bulgarian quarter-final to play for, so don't go anywhere. Right, so what is it? So the first section of this video will be me explaining what the schedule is. So if we go over to the schedule now, we can show you how wonderful a beginning of a season has been for Lokomotiv Sofia. It has just been absolutely insane. From the first game that we came up against, which was Minor Pernik, we lost 1-0 to Levski, sorry. And to be fair, it wasn't a game where we actually got dominated. I think we had a chance. We had our chances to actually win the game, and we actually, to be fair, we outplayed Levski. They got a very lucky end of game winner, broke on the counter attack, and went and won the game. And it was a shame because this is the one game where that we've lost, and this is the reason why we're in this situation where we are. I think it's 4 points behind Levski, and if we beat them today, we go to potentially. I think it's 1 point behind, so it's a huge game today on our first episode. We then came up against CSKA 1948, and that was a 3-3 draw, and this really pissed me off. We were absolutely dominant. And yeah, it was just every time we scored, they got a highlight and went and scored. And it was just one of those games. And so the next one is Arda. Came up against them, beat them 4-0. Then a really good, strong game. And then it was Ludogorets. Came up against them, and it was a 2-2 draw. We did go 2-0 up. We did go, 2-1 up. They came back and clawed it, and it came to 2-2. And then this run of form just hit us. And it was Chernomor beat them 2-0. Pitu and Burakov. Then it was Septonim Sofia, Burakov with a hat-trick, and then CSK Sofia 1948. No, sorry, CSK Sofia, Burakov with a brace, and Igor Yastatic, a youngster, I think he was about 17, he comes on and scores, and Kokic gets himself his goal on that one. Then we came up against Botev, and it was a 0-0 draw. Really, really solid performance. I think that was on away from home against a team that was pretty much sitting in second spot, so it was a really, really good game. Then we had our Bulgarian first cup round, and Burakov again with a hat-trick, and we went on to win that game 5-2. Then it was Slavia Sofia, Burakov getting a back-to-back hat-trick, and Yordanov nearly getting himself one as well, and that game ended 5-2. Then it was Montana. We beat them 4-0, and that was Burakov getting a hat-trick. So I can't even believe this. He went 3 games and got 3 hat-tricks. It was unbelievable. And then we came up against Lokomotiv Gorna. He scored again, and Yordanov scored as well. Then it was Minor Pernik. That was a 2-0 game. Burakov getting on the score sheet, and Stoev. And then it was Botev in the second round, and we've had a really fortunate second round draw and quarter-final draw. We've got Montana on today's episode as well, but we beat them 2-0, and then we came up against Barui and we beat them 1-0. So this is a huge progress made in this season, and I kid you not, some of these signings Peter has turned into an absolute beast. So if we go over to the tactics, I'll show you what we're playing. So again, as I showed the last episode, we're playing this 4-2-3-1, and Peter in a triquester, I think that's what you call it, triquestra, I don't know how you say that. He's playing that role, and he's had 14 appearances, 3 goals, 4 assists, but wait for it. Look at Burakov. He's been absolutely incredible. 14 appearances, 15 goals, and look at his all of his stats put together and goals. He's had 16 appearances, 19 goals, 5 assists, playing at a 7.72. I think he's having already his best ever. I think he's pretty much going to have. I think if he carries on like this, he's going to have his best ever season at 1.6 million at evaluation, and he's already a Lokomotiv Sofia icon. And I think this year, where is he? Yeah, so he's an icon for the club, and I think he's going to go on and become a legend for us. I think he's just absolutely formidable and a phenomenal player. So let's have a check at the competition. So this is how it sits at the moment. So we've got Levski, who are currently in the pole position at first place on 37 points. We're in second with 33 points and a 25 goal difference, which is fantastic. I think this season, if we continue playing like this, we're in the championship group and we're looking into Europe. Then it's Ludogorets in third. They're on the same equivalence on points, but we're beating them on goal difference. And then it's Botev on 28 in fourth place. And CSK Sofia and Septim Sofia in the 5 and 6 places, really far behind. And we've just been absolutely dominant, and it's been a really massive change around for our squad, and changing tactic has made a huge impact. And also, not just that, it's also the players that we have on the wings. We've got Steph and Yordanov this season has been incredible on a wing, playing an inside forward. 12 appearances, 9 goals, 7 assists. He just constantly gets in Burakov, and Burakov goes and scores. So it's going to be a big 2 games episode this season. This episode, sorry, it's going to be 2 massive games against Levski, top of the table against second place, and it's going to be Montana in the Bulgarian Cup to potentially send us into the semi-finals of the Bulgarian Cup. So without further ado, let's move into our first game of the season here. First game of the season, what am I talking about? First game of the episode against Levski, and I'm pretty scared. Why is Kokic playing in a deep line playmaker role? That makes no sense. Right, it's Nikolov. You can come back in and play that role. I don't know what the hell happened there. I'm going to change Yatsik. He is our best player. So this guy has come from absolute nowhere. He's a 17-year-old fullback. Usually on support. So these are his stats. So he's really sort of just developed. He's come into the squad, and I think he was there a long time ago in the development squad. And he's just he's just come on a free, and he's just been developing. And he's a realist, and he's formidable. He's come in, got himself a goal, 5 appearances in, and I think he's already got some assists. Oh no, he's just playing at a 7.32 average rating, so he's been phenomenal. Look at some of his technicals, really good and solid. Mentals are phenomenal as well, and physicals are there as well. I think he's going to be a really, really important player, because obviously we've got Simonov, and now we've got a youngster. So we've got 2 youngsters in our fullback positions, which is perfect going forward, as it shows that we are starting to get some youngsters through into the team. So obviously we're playing a 4-2-3-1. We've got Steph and Yordanov both on the inside forwards cutting in. Burakov up top in the advanced forward. Peter, I keep saying Petar, I don't know why. Peter, sorry, he's coming in the Triquesta role, and it's Nikolov in the deep line playmaker, and Pitu in a Mezzala. You've got Yatsk on fullback and Simonov as well, the 2 youngsters on the wings, and Stoev and Koulibaly, who have formed themselves a partnership, and Simic in goal. Let's go and see if we can take the 3 points here, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be a huge one. So there's 10 players lack familiarity in the team. I don't understand why. You've all been playing this tactic for the past 6 years. So going into this one, we need to ensure that we do go and win. It is such a huge game for this club. And I tell you what, I've never been in a position where, 5 seasons in, we're actually competing for the title, and it's so brilliant to see for this club, because it's been 5 grueling seasons of getting out of the second league, getting into this league, and becoming a self-reliant mid-table club, and it's now pushing up, and it's so good to see that we are. So let's go into the I'm doing a pep talk. I say let's go. Great opportunity to show you I've got faith in the defence. It's going to be, I've got faith for every single one, so let's go and do that. And everyone's motivated in going into go for this game, which is big, because they need to be. I don't want any player going into this a bit worried. So here we go. Recent form is that they've had 2 losses, 2 draws and a win, which is quite of a shock, because they're 37 points clear, and that's their form. So here we go. We start this episode, and it's going to be a big one. And here we go. We've got a highlight as Pitu comes forward, Nikolov into Yatsu, and they're coming forward here, and this is going to be a big one. He's coming all the way, but Simic saves. 4 minutes in, we're 1-0 down, and they've cut us apart here, to be fair. And with that, we are currently being sent back down. But unless we can come back into this, as Yatski's let Nikolov, oh my goodness me, Burakov shoots and he gets the save, and we've worked the keeper there, and we could potentially have been 1-1 if he had got that a bit more on target, but it's going to be a really tough game on this one. And Stoev into Pitu, into Nikolov, back to Pitu, Pitu into Steph, and it's a poor ball. And some of these players, and Armageddon. Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me? 2-0 down, 15 minutes in, and it's the same players messing up. Oh, what? You've got to pass. Oh, you can't even put a ball together. You can't even string a pass. Right, I'm going to berate some of these players because they've been absolutely appalling. Look, you can't even throw it. What are you doing? I don't understand what's going on. We've literally been absolutely appalling here. Look, we can't even pass. I know it's a big game, and I understand that obviously for some of these players it's a lot more difficult, but that's a fantastic challenge. But given straight away. Oh, goodness me, this is so infuriating. It's like we'll just throw everything out the window, all the hard work that we've done, we'll just go and throw it out the window. And some of these players are playing absolutely horrendous. I'm going to have to berate them because they've been absolutely appalling. And I do think something's going to probably have to change if we go into half time here 2-0 down, as nothing seems to be making an impact. And here we go, we've got a highlight, but no, it's immediately gone back to them. And they're coming all the way forward, and it was potentially 3-0 going into half time. I'm going to have a dressing room. I'm going to thrash my arms. I'm far from pleased from what I've seen from this. I'm going to say I'm disappointed with your defensive work. I think there's a lot more you can do in attackers. There's a lot more to come from you. Everyone's motivated, which is good, but we've got to be willing to take these chances that are provided. And here we go. Goodness me, Yordanov has fired a ball in. Can Stoev get his back? Oh, it's a penalty. Get in. Steph will take the penalty. Oh, he's got the chance to half the deficit here. And he shoots and he scores. Get in. 49 minutes in, we've gone and scored. And that's Steph on the goal. On the 49th minute mark, a beautiful penalty into the left, I think it's either the right-hand corner. And we've got ourselves a lifeline back into this game. And Yordanov is struggling. I'm going to have to replace him with Kokic. And Salabasali coming. Oh, fucking hell. Are you kidding me with these shit quick range highlights? Who's marking him? Who is that? Oh, it's so poor to give up. Oh, my God. I think, to be fair, if this team... Oh, this is so annoying. We've been completely dominated here, and I'm going to have to change our tactic as this just doesn't look like it's going to be changing. And Steph's coming back into that deep line playmaker, and I'm going to take off. Oh, I mean, I can't even take off Burakov because he's our best player on the field here. Koulibaly, you can come off. Ganev, you can go back on. I'm going to point my fingers. I've got faith in you all. Now we're going to have to start again 68 minutes in here. Hopefully we can start to pick things up as Jakic is there into Invanov, back over to Burakov. What is he doing? Who is that? Ganev's run away from the ball. I don't believe it. This is absolutely appalling. Who can come on? I mean, Trenchev can come on. I've got no more substitutions. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough end to the game. And, we've been absolutely torn apart by this team. And, I think this is really, really proving that, we're just not ready to be getting into those bigger games. As Invanov can come forward into Steph over to Ganev. Oh, it's the same bullshit. You just can't go and fire a ball. If we're not going to have any of these players playing at a certain level... Does anyone want to say anything? What the fuck is that? Who is this? Simonov, he doesn't even go anywhere near him. He just lets him run past him. Oh, that is such shit defending. I'm going to berate them because they've been absolutely appalling this game. And unless we can somehow form a late comeback here, I don't think we will. But Ganev's coming forward into Pitu, into Burakov. Burakov shoots and he's been denied. And we are going to lose this game 4-1. And it's going to be our first defeat in a long, long time. Defeated by the league leaders. I'm going to throw the bottle. I'm far from pleased from that. You're all shite. And, well, that's the first game of the episode here. And one that I was not expecting. and we've just been absolutely torn apart by a team that is what miles apart. You can't even compare these two teams. But we obviously go back into third, which means we would actually be in the playoff spot. But we've been absolutely torn apart here. I think that there's nothing that we can deny on that one. I mean, the good thing is that CSK Sofia and Botev have drew, so obviously they haven't gained that many points to us. But that has been an absolutely horrendous first game on the episode. And the next game to come up will be the Montana game in the Bulgarian Cup quarter-final. So at least we can sort of get through that one, hopefully, and get into the semis. And hopefully league form can start to improve a little bit more. But yeah, it's going to be a horrendously tough game on that Montana game as well, because we can't take these teams for granted. We have to be willing to take these opportunities. So what I'll do is I'll quickly fast forward to the Montana game, and we can play that one on camera. So don't go anywhere, and I'll see you all in the Montana game. Well, welcome back to the Montana game here in the Bulgarian quarter-final. Obviously, we had that horrendous loss against Levski, and that means that obviously affected our league form, but we have a chance to get ourselves into the semi-final of the Bulgarian Cup, and potentially also we have an actual chance this year to actually go on into the final, I think, if we get given a good draw. So let's go forward into this Montana game, and hopefully this is one where we can actually reflect and also go on to win. I think we need to ensure that we do go on to get ourselves 3 points here. 3 points, get into that semis, sorry. So everyone's okay with the formation, which is good, because I don't understand why they were worried about last game. I think it's because I've got players that aren't big game players, so obviously that makes a huge impact. So I'm going to have to point my fingers and say it's a good opportunity for the media. Midfielders, I've got faith. Attackers, I've got faith. And we go into the tunnel and say, obviously, just spam a bit of positivity. Hopefully, that makes an impact onto the game. But we start, and this is a chance for us to get into this semi-final. And here we go. There's the first highlight here. And Ganev reclaims possession into Yatski and over to Steph. Steph now into Ganev. Back to Ganev. Ganev into Yatsk. Into Steph. Ball's been taken away, and goodness me, they are playing some quite nice football here, Montana, as ball goes over to Istanov, and oh my goodness me, they've just nearly gone and scored 10 minutes in on their highlight, and we just don't seem to... Oh god, this could be a bit of a worrying game here against Montana, as Simonov to throw the ball in into Petar over to Barui, but Botet, what am I talking about? But the ball's been fired and it's been cleared. 20 minutes in here, we have actually not been playing very well, which is a bit of a worry, as I'm going to have to encourage. But here we go, we've got a highlight, as Balanov can reclaim possession into Simonov, please don't lose it. Over to Pitu into Yordanov. Oh, goodness me, over to Balanov. Balanov now into Nikolov. Nikolov back to Balanov, over to Ganev. Ganev to Yatsk. Over to Yordanov. Yordanov's in, and it's missed. He's hit the goalkeeper, and we have our first shot on target on a highlight, which is good to see, rather than it being a penalty. But this could be a game where we are actually not always going to be in it. We need to ensure that we are clinical in this game, because I kid you not, in this cup, there is going to be a chance that we actually go and not get ourselves into the semi-finals. I'm going to say I'm far from pleased with that. I'm going to say to the defenders, there's a lot more to come from you, and it's the same for everyone here. I'm going to have to say I'm a lot more... this is a bit of a worry, because obviously we've been playing so well, and as soon as I turn on the camera, it's like they're a bit camera shy. Some of these players just do not do. It's every time we turn on the computer and I start recording some of these games, it just all goes to plot. And here they come, as Yats can come forward, but it's been cleared over to Ganev into Burakov, and we're coming forward here. Steph, keep going, and Testanov is there into Pitu, into Burakov. Burakov's in, and that's it. It's 1-0 to Lokomotiv Sofia. Burakov with his 20th of the season, and it's a poor clearance by Tesnov to get in, and Pitu has gone and claimed the ball, and that's fantastic play from him into Petar, and Peter has scored, has another assist, and we find ourselves 1-0 up here in this semi-final. And Barui are going through by the looks of things. Ludogorets and Arda are drawing. and Levski and Slavia Sofia are drawing, but Levski have just gone and scored. Don't really want them in a final or a semi-final draw. I wouldn't mind having Barui, but it's going to be a tough draw next game. And Nikolov into Peter, Yordanov's in, and that's it. It's 2-0, and I think that's going to be game over, hopefully. And we've seen ourselves into the semi-finals here. And that's Lokomotiv Sofia that should be going into the semis. But goodness me, it's been a tough game. I'm going to have to praise the performance of the boys. And Kokic, I'm going to bring him on for... Oh, he's not coming on for Yordanov. Into Nikolov now, into Pitu. But 88 minutes in here, we have a chance to just finish the game off as Simonov is coming forward. And Pitu now into Petar, into Steph. Steph's been surely fouled. No, it's been a... he's been flagged for offside. And Kokic is coming on. Yordanov is coming off. And, well, that's it. Full time. Get in. We've made it through to the semi-finals of the Bulgarian Cup. I'm going to outstretch my hands. I'm pleased with your performance. And what we'll do is I'll quickly just fast forward to the next season. Not next season, sorry. The next who we get in the Bulgarian semi-finals. So if we have a look at the Bulgarian quarter-final, get in. Arda have gone through on penalties. Barui have gone through, and it's Levski. Slavia Sofia unfortunately did get a goal, but it wasn't enough. And we have the potential chance out of the three teams to get either Arda or Barui. So this is a huge semi-final draw. I wouldn't mind getting Arda. He was absolutely superb. I think that would be a fantastic run into the final. And when is it? So it's here. So quickly just going to go on vacation. And whilst we're on vacation, I can discuss and talk about whether or not what's actually happening in the league phase and potentially what the games that we're going to be playing on the next episode. Obviously, since it's season 5 and I'm trying to get through these games, I do think it's probably going to be the last two games of the first league split. And then we can go into potentially looking at the championship group and also ensuring that we do go and get into Europe. I think this season has to be us getting into Europe. I think there's nothing else that can be talked about. We just have to go on and ensure that. And obviously, so the game's loaded up, and obviously a few things have changed. That's fine. But hopefully, this semi-final draw is absolutely huge, as we're actually playing Arda next game, so it'll be a big sort of viewpoint if we do go on and win, if we do get them in the semi-final. But the thing is, obviously, with the Bulgarian Cup, anything can happen, and I think that's with any cup in this game, anything can happen, and probably does, as there's been, obviously, we've somehow won it last year. But also, there's something also very interesting here, is that we have a what a game! Come on, this is a terrific group of players coming through, and there's a potential to be a real golden generation for the club. Well, hopefully next, when we get our youth intake, we've obviously had that. It's a golden generation for the club, which is absolutely phenomenal and really good to see. And hopefully that's something that can keep going on for the club. Right, okay, so I've just got to get through these, and here we go. We have the draw. Let's set it on automatic and see who we claim for next game. And it's Barui up against Levski. Get in. We've got Arda. Come on. Hopefully we're getting into the final here. This is an absolutely huge semi-final to get into the final of the Bulgarian Cup. And oh my goodness me, this is huge. Well, there we go. Have we played them before, Arda? I think we swear we smashed them one game. Yeah, we absolutely blew them apart 4-0. So hopefully that can continue in that game and we can go on. When is this? So it's obviously after the split of the Bulgarian First League phase. So what we're going to do, I'm going to fast forward to the last two games of the season. We'll play them and we'll get into that championship group. Although I may actually just go and do the semi-final, because obviously the issue for me is to just get into Europe this season. So I think what I'm actually going to do is obviously the first league split. I'll put something up on Twitter when we get through. But hopefully that first league preliminary phase has to be finished. I need to get this done, and we go on into the Bulgarian Cup semi-final. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, and I cannot wait to that semi-final, potentially going on into the final of the Bulgarian Cup, which would be absolutely huge for our club. And yeah, I'm just so excited and really enjoying this save, and I hope you are too. And if you have any comments, feel free to drop them down below. I will definitely, I will 100% reply. And if you've got any sort of any information regarding this save and what I can potentially do that's different, please leave it down below. I will definitely take your opinions on board, and I would like to see obviously that side of it a bit more. So thank you ever so much again, and I will see you all in season 5 episode 3 on the Bulgarian semi-final. And hopefully, can we have a potential chance to get ourselves one cup final again, and potentially do a second time around of winning the Bulgarian Cup. So thank you ever so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you. Bye bye.